Are you asking about my intention? Yes. The Baron's gaze was full of questions. Fortunately, it wasn't as cold as before. It must be thanks to how I dealt with the debt collectors yesterday and handed him that pouch of coins. Thanks to that, the Baron had been able to pay off this month's interest. Naturally, his attitude toward Lloyd had softened. Lloyd spoke. I want to raise money through the villagers. Raise money? Yes, to pay off our debts. At first, I thought about imposing a special tax, but that would face strong opposition. Yes, that's why I came up with a more legitimate way. And that's how you came up with this business of installing Ondal? Yes, I'll make money, and in return the villagers will pay a reasonable fee to enjoy a much warmer winter. It's a win-win situation. And where? The Baron's suspicious gaze fixed on Lloyd. Did you learn this? You mean the Ondal? Yes, I've never seen anything like it in my life. Where did you get such an idea? I've been thinking about it for a while. Thinking? Yes. Lloyd nodded. In moments like this, you had to be as brazen as possible. He continued. I've always had this vague thought. Stones, once heated, take a long time to cool down. So I wondered, what if we laid flat stones on the floor and funneled hot air underneath to heat the floor? And this time, I had the opportunity to test it out, and it worked better than I expected. It was warmer than I had imagined. You mean the Ondal you installed at the tavern? Yes. So that's what led you to think of turning it into a business? Yes. He nodded as if it were the most natural thing in the world. He was certain of its success. But there was still a trace of doubt in the Baron's eyes. I see. It's a good plan. I'm impressed by how thorough this business plan is. I didn't know you had such talents, but... The Baron's doubtful question cut through the air. Can I trust your intentions? Pardon? I'm asking if I can trust you. What do you mean by that? Surely you haven't forgotten what happened 2 years ago? 2 years ago. That was an event not even mentioned in Night of Blood and Iron. At this point, making any excuses wouldn't help. Lloyd stayed silent. Fortunately, the Baron continued. It was just like this back then. There wasn't a fancy business plan like this, but you made a similar promise. I still remember your words clearly. You said, Father, this time I'll really focus on my studies. Trust me, and invest in me. I was thrilled. I thought you had finally come to your senses. So I sold the vacation house and gave you the money for your academy fees. But you squandered it. You spent every last coin with those hooligans you always hung out with, drinking, partying with women. You held disgusting, shameful parties. Oh, come on. Lloyd, you absolute scumbag. Lloyd bit his tongue to hold back a curse. A proper wastrel indeed. I can't believe he did something like that. No wonder the Baron's reaction had been so lukewarm, even in the face of a flawless business plan. After pulling off a stunt like that, it made sense that regaining trust would be difficult. Ugh, Lloyd, you trash. He could feel the weight of the past hanging over him, thanks to the former owner of this body. How was he supposed to get through this? His mind raced at lightning speed. And finally, he found a solution. It came to him through his own memories. Come to think of it, I've done something similar before, on a much smaller scale. It was when he was in middle school. Back then, he had spent the money his mother gave him for academy fees. Instead, he'd gone to PC rooms with his friends every evening. I played everything. League, Overwatch, War Thunder. Man, it was fun. But eventually, his mother found out. She scolded him harshly. He had to beg for forgiveness, practically groveling. Only after making an irreversible promise did his mother finally forgive him. Sigh, I guess that's my only option here. With the solution in mind, Lloyd looked up. He met the Baron's gaze. Just like the day he had promised his mother never to visit a PC room again, he said to the Baron, "I'll quit drinking." "What?" "I mean it. If you trust me this time, I'll give up alcohol for good." The Baron's expression changed slightly, as if he were wondering if Lloyd was serious, or perhaps suspecting some kind of trick. Lloyd didn't say anything more. He simply held the Baron's gaze unwavering. He remained calm, silently conveying that he meant what he said. How much time passed? Finally, the Baron sighed. Is that really true? Yes. Truth be told, Lloyd couldn't drink much anyway. He didn't even like it that much. He had no attachment to alcohol. So if giving it up meant earning a bit more trust from the Baron, it was a win, a huge win. And finally, "All right, fine." The Baron nodded. He returned the business plan to Lloyd. "You're willing to go that far, so I'll trust you this one time. I'll instruct my steward. From now on, you can use the soldiers of the barony freely for this project." "Thank you. This will be the last time I trust you. Don't disappoint me." The Baron's gaze softened, just a little. Perhaps there was even a hint of pity. For a moment, Lloyd thought of his mother's face on the day of the PC room incident, and he felt a little strange. He quickly finished his meal and left. So that's how it went. There were still many hurdles ahead. With that thought, Lloyd chuckled bitterly. In the midst of his thoughts, a knight approached him with a complaint. "As you can see, I am an honorable knight. I cannot accept orders to oversee this kind of labor, even if they come from you, young master." The knight's face was twisted in disdain. Of course, Lloyd knew the man's name. Sir Ulrich. He was the knight Lloyd had specifically chosen to oversee today's work, one of the 5 knights of the barony of Frontera, and the weakest among them. When the barony eventually fell, he had been the first to betray the Baron. He stole the Baron's prized horse and fled. Not only that, as he fled, he spat in Lloyd's face. "That's why I put you in charge of today's work." Lloyd had summoned him on purpose. He had entrusted Ulrich with leading the soldiers. Because he expected him to rebel like this, and Ulrich did not disappoint. Lloyd silently grabbed a shovel, then he smiled brightly at Sir Ulrich. "Ah, so you're refusing my orders?" "I am not refusing. I am merely asking that you respect my honor as a knight." "Ah!" Thud! Before Ulrich could finish his sentence, Lloyd swung the shovel, striking Ulrich's face with full force. This territory definitely needs an overhaul. As Sir Ulrich's molars flew through the air, Lloyd's eyes gleamed coldly.